Dictation number SV200 TN008. Get ready. Start. Speaking on the President's address, a member said, Mr. Chairman, sir, I rise to support to the motion thanking the President for his address on the eve of the current session. The President dealt with the rise in prices, and I am glad that a considerable part of his address is dealing with the common man's problems. The hardships of the people went on increasing from the days of Bangladesh war. Soon after the war was over, our country was trying its best to reduce the import of food grains and other essential commodities. But unfortunately, there were famines, droughts, and cyclones in many parts of the country. Naturally, the government had to tackle all these problems and give relief to the people. But just then, there was an international crisis and there was restriction in production. As a result, there was rise in prices and there was also scarcity in many of the essential commodities. The government took steps to check the rise in prices by putting a curb on expenditure. As a result, the prices have been controlled to some extent and many of the essential commodities have become less scarce. But I must point out to the government that the price of the rice is still going up gradually in the whole country, and this is due to certain wrong policies followed by the state governments, perhaps at the instance or with the approval of the central government. So I request the center to take serious notice of this fact. Sir, I now go to the next point. There is no doubt that inflation is a world phenomenon, but at the same time, we should remember that it has also its adverse effects on the middle and the working class people of this country. In this convention, I would like to point out that in other countries, the wages and incomes have gone up rapidly in proportion to the rise in prices, but in our country, the wages and incomes of the middle and the working class people have not gone up in proportion to the rise in prices. As a result, the real incomes and wages of the common people have come down. It is very much during this period of inflation and the working class people who are suffering very much during the period of inflation, and the central government should bear in mind these sections while formulating plans and production programs. Sir, the President has rightly congratulated the nuclear scientists and engineers on the remarkable advance made in the nuclear field. The future of this country, the prosperity of this country, and the responsibility for increased production by scientific methods lie in the hands of our engineers and scientists. It is regrettable that these engineers and scientists do not get sufficient encouragement in the country and there is the brain drain. I request the government to formulate some schemes to see that this brain drain is reduced to the minimum and the scientists and engineers of this country contribute to the advancement of our country. I am glad that the President has made a reference to corruption. We must realize that corruption grows rapidly where there is wide gap between the income of a public servant and the income of a private individual who is leading lawyer or a busy doctor or a big businessman. At higher level, it represents greed for power and at lower level, it represents an urge for survival. Sir, corruption can be reduced in the country only by taking some economic measures such as sealing on urban property and other economic measures. I am glad that the President has made a reference to certain economic measures which the government will undertake during the current year. In the President's address, it has been stated that the government are undertaking various programs for educational reforms. I may point out that in this matter, the government have a fundamental duty. It is one of the directive principles of state policy enshrined in the Constitution that free and compulsory elementary education should be given to all children below 14. Sir, it is 25 years since the Constitution came into force, yet this directive principle has not been fulfilled by the various governments in the country. I hope the government will give top priority to elementary education and see that all children below 14 and above 6 years are given free and compulsory education throughout the country. Sir, in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and some other places, secondary education is almost free with the exception of convents and some other schools. I hope that secondary education will be made free throughout the country in all the states without any exception. So far as colleges are concerned, some private managements find it difficult to run the colleges because they do not get sufficient grants. Therefore, they are compelled to collect donation from students. I request the government to see that the private managements do not resort to such methods and see that they get enough grants. Sir, we are now faced with the problem of employment. One of the best methods of solving it is self-employment. Lakhs of educated young men can be employed if they are encouraged to start small-scale industries or fair price shops or hotels. For this, they should be given assistance by the nationalized banks. Nationalized banks do not give much assistance to small-scale industries, though we talk much of it. In fact, there are no guidelines for nationalized banks to help the small scale industries. So, the nationalized banks should formulate some guidelines to help the small scale industries and small units for promoting self employment. The life insurance corporation, besides getting very good business from the big firms, companies, etc., and also gets much business from the small men. Therefore, the life insurance corporation should also take interest in this, and it should also try to solve the problem of unemployment by providing self employment to our young men. Stop.